everybody, I'm the Certified Nerd, and today we'll be talking about every single standard issue helmet cover for the M1 helmet. There is one exception as the Ertl camouflage. However, it's very similar to the Woodland, so I'm not going to count that because I just feel like that's not actually really... I don't know, it just doesn't seem like that's the most... plus, it really wasn't even standard issue. Although it was seen in Vietnam, it was not the most common. So yes, so we'll be talking about the differences between the helmet covers and their evolutions and how they developed. What's the differences between them? What years were they made? What wars were they served, or did they serve? So first things first, of course, we have to talk about with the first actual helmet cover for the M1 helmet. Of course, the M1 helmet being designed in 1941, we have the M42 frog skin camouflage helmet cover for the M1 helmet. This is a reversible helmet, so you have what's called the green side, which has a more like inland, and then we have the tan side, which is for on the beaches. And we'll talk about the differences between the tan side between this one and this one, because those are actually very similar looking, but they are different. As we can see, it's a bunch of basically just spots and squiggles of different colors. We have a tan base with two browns. We have a darker, we have three browns. We have a greenish brown right here. We have a dark brown, and then we have a lighter brown about here, and then we have a dark green. Of course, these are just like spots put in random positions just to break up the shape. The other reversible, the brown side has a peachy tan base with two? Is it two? Yes, I think it's two other tan pieces, again, put in the same pattern of just a bunch of random splotch dots on a base. Next, we move on to the Mitchell camouflage cover. This one is a bit more complex. This one was, I think, also designed by actually the Marines, and would it be adopted right before the Vietnam War began. This is an Army configuration, but whatever. As you can see, we have leaf patterns being formed by the colors. We have three greens. We have a more olive green with, you see these like darker stripes as like the veins of the leaf. We have the darker green with an even darker stripe for the vein. And then we have this base green along with some brown stripes acting as twigs and tan to act as dead leaves and sandy stuff. This helmet cover, of course, is a lot more complex. It has a lot more to it than the frog skin. Instead of just being a bunch of splotches, it is actually generally designed. However, when we switch to the tan side of it, it is a little less intentional, I must say. In this case, we have a very interesting base color with a bunch of different tans. We have this like basically black tan, a very dark brown, a slightly lighter brown, a beige brown, and then two like salmon-like brown tans alongside with it. Again, there is a difference between this and the other one. Although these tans look very similar, the Mitchell camouflage tan has way more colors. As you can see, it's not spread, a bunch of dots spread out. Not only that, while the frog skin's tan side looks pretty similar to the green side, the Mitchell color's tan side looks very different from its green side, due to the green side actually being like foliage. Then we move on to the 1980s with the Woodland camouflage cover for the M1 helmet. This, of course, is just the standard Woodland camouflage cover, and it is not reversible, so it is a one-sided camouflage cover. This, of course, would be the last camouflage cover for the M1 helmet, as afterwards the M1 helmet was replaced by the PSA GT, which was replaced in the 80s, and so there's, of course, the 80s camouflage cover for that, and I've talked about that. So this takes a couple colors. We have a, really no base color, but we have, well, actually, I think it's, I don't know, but we have a dark brown, we have tan, we have green, and we have black, and like these like stick figure shapes to kind of break up the shape. And of course, that's the whole point. All these are supposed to break up the shape. These are made for tropical environments, and that one's not really. However, we can kind of tell where this is specifically more made for. The frog skin is definitely made for the island hopping campaign of the Pacific. It is a camouflage that is more tan and brown than it is green, which works a lot better for the more sandy environments of smaller islands, like Guadalcanal, Guam, why am I forgetting what it's called? It starts with an S. Oh, come on. I'm thinking of Singapore. It's not Singapore. Oh, come on. It's where all the crocodiles were. Darn it. Okay, I'm stupid. But yeah. And then on the other side, of course, that's perfect for like a more beach environment. The Mitchell camouflage cover is made for a more inland jungle environment. Instead of the more beachy colors, we, of course, are getting away from more tans and browns, going to a more mainland green due to it being more inland with being more dense green foliage instead of a tanner and green and brown environment due to the sand, trees, and leaves. You know, a mix of all that. That's what this works for. More inland, we get that. And for woodlands, so for like a dense woodlands in the United States or even in places like Europe, this is perfect as it just makes the brown and tan and green blend in with the browns and greens of a forest, while the black helps to block out, it blends to blend in with the more like shadow areas of the forest, and it also just helps to break up the shape. So yeah, those are the only standard issue. There's only 3 standard issue helmet covers for the M1 helmet. PSAGT I think only has maybe 3. I think only 2 though actually, because it would have the BD, it would have the Woodland, it would have the 90s chocolate chip. Ooh, it would have the other 90s one, I think. So yeah, that's that. But as you can see, it was interesting to see how we developed different camouflage covers for different environments. This would definitely work for a more beachy jungle. This works a lot better for like a more dense inland jungle, and then that's perfect for a woodland environment, hence the name. So yeah, that's about it for all the helmet covers for the M1. All of them are literally the same, which is interesting. They all maintain these like flaps at the bottom, which go into the helmet. We'll see that sticks around. They all have the, it's a 2-piece cover with the stitching going down the top. They all have these holes, and I don't actually know what these holes are for. Someone could tell me. But they all have these holes on the sides. Every single one of them has it. So, yeah. Anyways, that's about it. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time. I'll place my